Observe that win-win exchange is the cause of peace because it is peaceful exchange, which is free exchange. As the creation of win-win exchange rises, so the creation of peace rises. And so what is peace? We'll define it precisely. Peace is the byproduct of win-win exchange. Moreover, we can also observe that win-win exchange is the cause of prosperity because it is the prime creator of new wealth. As the creation of win-win exchange rises, so the creation of prosperity rises. Prosperity, let's look at what it means precisely defined. Prosperity is the byproduct of win-win exchange. Furthermore, observation reveals that win-win exchange is the cause of freedom because it is a mutually voluntary exchange. As the creation of win-win exchange rises, so the creation of human freedom rises. All right, finally we come to a key term, freedom. What's freedom? Here it is in win-win theory. Freedom is the byproduct of win-win exchange. We can verify through observation that the greatest human gains flow from the win-win domino effects of creating peace, prosperity, and freedom for all to enjoy, which includes, of course, every religious believer. These a posteriori conclusions are reached by observing the operation of the principle of win-win exchange. Here it is again. Win-win exchange creates wealth, expands freedom, and establishes peace. Its operation as a principle of social action can be seen by anyone willing to look. It is a key principle for revealing which social causes lead to which social effects. Now, in practicing the golden rule principle, do not seize wealth and freedom from others as you would have them not seize wealth and freedom, your wealth and freedom. The practice of this principle does not allow for win-lose exchange. As I emphasize, the only other principle to follow is the principle of win-win exchange. Now, to gain a deeper understanding of how to optimize the causes of peace, prosperity, and freedom, it's necessary to understand what optimizes the causes of war, poverty, and servitude. That'd be a good essay question for you. Write me an essay. What optimizes the causes of war, poverty, and servitude? If we had time, everyone would read the essay. This leads to the question, is there a generalization that is contrary to the principle of win-win exchange? Well, there is indeed. An opposing principle, one that we can also observe as a reliable predictor of the social effects of win-lose exchange. And so we have the principle of win-lose exchange. Win-lose exchange seizes wealth, expands servitude, and fosters war. Institutionalizing win-lose seizure of wealth for religious or political gain advances poverty by decreasing productivity and increasing the scarcity of goods and services. The more win-lose exchange, the more poverty. What is poverty? We have a precise definition. Poverty is a byproduct of win-lose exchange. Moreover, win-lose exchange imposes involuntary servitude by forcing some people to serve other people against their will. So again, we have the principle of win-lose exchange. Win-lose exchange seizes wealth, expands servitude, and fosters war. Win-win exchange creates wealth, expands freedom, and establishes peace. As these predictions of win-win theory are verified through direct and indirect observation, their prestige as a true principle of social action continues to rise. Most importantly, their verification confirms the unification of science, economics, and religion. The golden rule principle of win-win theory gives semantic precision to the overarching theme of the ancient golden rules from Zoroaster in the 6th century BC to Muhammad in the 12th century BC. When economics explains the true causes of wealth creation, the prime cause of wealth creation will always be to follow the golden rule principle as an inviolable code of win-win business and win-win ethics. In contrast, where the principle of win-lose exchange is applied to society, one of the social consequences is always the expansion of involuntary servitude. We can observe that all involuntary servants are unfree, even as their masters, from their seats of authority, trumpet the liberty and freedom of their involuntary servants. The contradiction is blatant. Observation reveals that it is impossible to be free and unfree at the same time. The more win-lose exchange, the more servitude. And so human servitude is the byproduct of win-lose exchange. Furthermore, win-lose exchange fosters and imposes conflicts we call war. We can also see that coercive exchange is unpeaceful. Exchange that, due to its belligerent and bellicose nature, is a disaster. The more win-lose exchange, the more warfare. And so, warfare is a byproduct of win-lose exchange. These fatal effects of the principle of win-lose exchange can be seen by, again, anyone willing to look. These principles of win-win and win-lose exchange are essential guides to our understanding of social causality. They reveal, this is a critical understanding that most of society is missing, especially if they went to school. They must understand, in order to get out of potential disaster, they must understand which social causes lead to which social effects. Rarely could you learn this in any school I know of, a few exceptions. Again, education is all about understanding which physical, biological, and social causes lead to which effects. Education has its root in observation and verification of cause and effect. Failing at education, what's left? You're left with miseducation. Miseducation is all about misunderstanding which physical, biological, and social causes lead to which effects. Now, in our time, we have enough knowledge, I believe you have enough knowledge, I hope, of social cause and effect to replace war with peace, poverty with prosperity, servitude with freedom. However, we first have to falsify, to do this, much of conventional wisdom on how to accomplish these lofty aims. In falsifying conventional wisdom, there's only one thing we have to falsify. There's only one barrier to minimizing world war, poverty, and servitude, and maximizing world peace, prosperity, and freedom. Please note, there are not 3 barriers, there are not 9 barriers, there's just one. The barrier comes in the form of a paradigm or a world view of social reality. Your paradigms are your world views, as you know. I call this paradigm the win-lose paradigm.
Okay.
Here it is. The win-lose paradigm says for us to gain, they must lose through force or fraud. The win-lose paradigm, how pervasive is it? Your laughter implies you think it's pervasive indeed. Well, win-lose The win-lose paradigm is the foundation of all political action. It is the basis of all political socialism, all political communism, all political fascism, all political democracy, and all political theocracy. Now, everyone believes their paradigms of causality are true. That's why they're so powerful. Everybody believes their paradigms are true. No exception. That's what a paradigm is. It's what you believe is true concerning your worldviews. And so everyone is governed, steered by their paradigms of causality. Well, if you can't change people's false paradigms of causality to true paradigms of causality, nothing ever changes. For this rather pressing reason, the win-lose paradigm, in whatever variation it may take, must be falsified and repudiated without redemption. The most powerful strategy, it turns out, of falsifying false paradigms of causality is, guess what? The scientific method. By falsifying the win-lose paradigm, at the same time you falsify all political and theocratic action as a workable means to peace, prosperity, and freedom. Now, for nearly 50 years, I've been in the business of refuting the win-lose paradigm in whatever variation it may take. When I find myself in a social gathering and when people ask, well, Snelson, what do you do? I tell them, well, you know, I'm in the paradigm shattering business. After giving seminars for decades as a proprietary business without subsidies, I'm close to publication to a wider audience. Here is the hardcover of my book, which hopefully will be out soon. As you can see, the title is Taming the Violence of Faith, Win-Win Solutions for Our World in Crisis. The purpose of this book is to falsify the win-lose paradigm as the basis for theocratic and political win-lose game. And furthermore, the purpose is to verify the win-win paradigm as the basis of world peace, world prosperity, and world freedom. So without glitches, the book should be on the market in about 6 weeks. To follow what we are doing, we have founded a limited liability company, which I will mention in a moment, to market win-win theory. As you may know, the V50 lectures have recently come into the marketplace. Some of you have purchased these. These lectures have been given to thousands and thousands of my students, school adults who embraced the win-lose paradigm of causality in one form or another at the time of their enrollment. They all came in embracing the win-lose paradigm in one form or another. By the end of the seminar, they had made the fundamental paradigm shift of rejecting the win-lose paradigm in favor of a win-win paradigm without exception. We found the DVD audio edition, which I gave in 1978, has had the same success today in accomplishing, because the principles don't change. Principles are principles. They don't change. And so these DVDs, this audio edition, accomplishes the essential paradigm shift away from win-lose to win-win actions. So the V50 lectures will be available for purchase through our new organization, which is the Sustainable Civilization Institute. If you're interested, there's our website address at the bottom. And we have about 100 of these DVDs, CDs left. the V50 lectures with a commemorative booklet. And I think we've lost them. Maybe I'll just scrap them. We're not planning to produce any more copies because our efforts of the V50 lectures, because our efforts will be directed toward promoting win-win theory. You will soon be able to nonetheless purchase these CDs on our website. We have brought a few copies. My wife has a few copies. Also, my associate David Woodward is here. And they're available if you're interested. If you'd like to purchase a set, we'll be happy to autograph the box. The price is $95. If you would like, this is the course that we used to offer the guarantee. You don't get more out of this single course than your entire college experience will give you your money back. That's a pretty bold claim. Of the thousands of students that I've had, we've had 3 requests for refunds. One guy said, this is the most valuable course I've taken, but it wasn't more valuable than all of my college courses. So we gave him a check for his tuition. So we're not planning to produce any more of these. I say there's about 100 left. When they're gone, they're gone. If you'd like to be notified when Taming the Violence of Faith is published, we have a sign-up sheet which my wife Nancy has. There's one on the table. And the tentative purchase price is not overly difficult. I think we're going to, it may be $21.95. I will end with a poem. It's the first and last poem that I ever wrote. It was written in the summer of 1950 when I was in the 8th grade. It says, the world today is not so gay, fighting and bickering all the way. Who knows when war may start and tear this mad old world apart? Some men fight to show their might, others still for the want to kill. If countries shall make war again, I promise you, no one will win. Well, here we are, my friends, 61 years later. Has anything changed? With enough knowledge of social causality, you have an opportunity to make a change by influencing the people you know to make a grand paradigm shift. A paradigm shift away from faith in the win-lose paradigm toward confidence in the win-win paradigm. Thank you. I'm willing to take a few questions, although we're out of time, but I'll take a few minutes if you have any. Sir?
Will the 201 lectures ever come out?
I have nothing to do with them. I can't say. Probably not, but I can't say. Sir?
Can we pay for your book tonight?
I don't know. Can he pay for the book tonight? We don't know. We don't know. Well, we would give it to you for $21.95. He would be the first person to buy the book.
Well, we've already got a commitment to sell the first copy to somebody else.
Oh, to somebody else. Well, you can see my wife about that. I can't give you a definitive answer.
You might mention that your further lectures might be available.
Yeah. Mr. Woodward mentioned my further lectures that were developed through my own Institute for Human Progress. All of these lectures will also be available for purchase at our limited liability company, and they'll be up there fairly soon for purchase. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.